Hey, good morning, guys. It's Sergio. Hey, I decided to do something a little different today this morning. Instead of showing you the entire full hour of last night's webinar, which was amazing, I'm going to slice it down to about 7 minutes. All right, so that's my goal. And so it's short and sweet. I know you're busy. So we talked about self-worth and self-esteem. And the thing with self-worth and self-esteem is that a lot of what we feel we are worthy of comes from our experiences in the past, right? A lot of the time we've been living in the past and basing our self-image and self-worth based on what our parents told us, our experiences that we've had, our friends, our buddies, our teachers, our coaches, etc. And a lot of that are just false beliefs, false opinions that were given to us, maybe by people whose self-esteem wasn't even as high. And we believed them because they were in positions of authority. Right? And so we have to start thinking about self-image and self-worth is an inside job. It's something that we have to control and we have to build, just like a mental muscle. All right. So Dino, for example, gave us a great story about how when he was growing up, his parents and his siblings and so forth created a really negative self-image about him, and he carried that with him. I mean, to this day, right? And so that's something that he needs to really shed, and we all have that. It's not just Dino. Everybody has baggage. Everybody has negative self-image that's holding them back from really performing, right? So if you think about a time where you really knocked it out of the park, right? And you had an amazing experience, you did a great presentation, something went really, really well. How did you feel, right? I mean, you were on top of the world. You're probably on fire. How did your performance how was your performance affected by that, right? You probably kicked butt for about 2 weeks on that thing. And so same thing happens on the other side though. Let's say you're having a great day and all of a sudden, you get on Instagram and you start comparing yourself to other people's situation, other people's family vacations. And comparison is a killer of your self-image, right? And self-worth, because you're never gonna be the top of everything. There's always gonna be somebody else that's gonna look like they're doing better, like they're happier, et cetera, and forget about that, because that's just garbage. That's not gonna help you build up your self-image and self-worth. That's just gonna bring you down. And when you're down, what happens to your performance? It goes down too. So your self-image, consider it like the sea level, right? Sea level rises and falls. And what rises with the sea? All the boats. So the boats are your performance, and the sea level is your self-esteem and self-worth. So when that rises, your performance rises, and when that drops, your performance drops. So we need to be very intentional about doing it ourselves. We got to build that mental muscle. How do you do that? You celebrate your wins, you celebrate your successes, and that of those around you as well, because that's what high self-worth people do. They build those around them, right? And so I want you to picture having a piggy bank. And that piggy bank is your self-esteem and your self-worth. I want you to make deposits every day. I want you to make a number of deposits. And these are the wins. And maybe it's just like, hey, I took a walk today. So, I'm trying to lose weight. I ate salad instead of rice. I stood up and spoke in a meeting when it gave me some trouble. Whatever those are, they don't have to be huge wins. Just any wins, right? And you start depositing, boom, boom, pop that little bottle of champagne in your mind and say, yep, that's like me. That's awesome. Keep going, right? Deposit those in. And what you can do you can deposit 2 coins if you make a mistake and you bounce back from it. Because mistakes are the biggest way that we grow. And if you can bounce back from a mistake and be resilient, you get 2 coins in there, baby. Let's go, build that up. So that's how we're going to build ourselves up. A key for work, for building up those around you, a great way to do it is catch people doing something right in the act. So you see somebody doing it and you say, hey, I really love what you did just there. I admire that. I think that took a lot of courage. Great job with that. Catch people doing something right, and when they make mistakes, make sure that they say, hey, good, I'm glad you made that mistake, because that means you're pushing the boundary. That means you're pushing your comfort zone. If you're not making mistakes, guys, you're not pushing hard enough, right? You're still in that comfort zone. You're the king of your comfort zone. So as a manager, I want you to make a mistake as long as it's not hurting the company, obviously too bad. But I want you to make that mistake because that shows me that you're trying hard and you're trying new things out of the box. And then the key is, how resilient are you to bounce back? Focus on the recovery point, not on the mistake. Recognize the mistake and say, what are we going to do differently the next time so that it doesn't happen again, or it happens to a lesser degree. So those are a few tips, a little bit of a wrap up of yesterday. We had Dino on the call, Patrick, Oliver, Barbie, Danny. It was a fantastic call. Next time, it's Wednesday. It's the last webinar of this whole series of the Empower Your Leaders and Leadership Mindset program. We want you to be there. We want everyone to be there to chime in. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be about goal setting, and we can all use some better goal setting techniques. So next Wednesday, September 18th, 7 p.m. See you there. Have a great rest of your week and a great weekend, guys. Take care.